I read an article the other day on IGN. IGN said, I'm a huge fan of PlayStation's first-party offerings, but where in the past this brand of glossy storytelling felt like new ground being trodden, I can't help but feel that recently it's become the well-worn road. And I'm yapping about this today. This is not a Halloween-esque video, but I am uploading every single day this month because Halloween's just that fire. So subscribe. So this clearly comes from a place of critiquing PlayStation's main games as like these third-person story games, right? We see Kratos, we see Joel and Ellie and Jin Sakai, Aloy, Sackboy, Astro Boy, all the boys, go down the list. And I think that, yeah, PlayStation is doing this, but it's also like, and I think to some extent there is some credibility to this claim as far as just acknowledging that a lot of them are similar in that aspect of their story-heavy games, their third-person games, but also it's like, what's the problem there? I would understand it if the quality of these games wasn't really high. I would understand it if, you know, the quality of these games was slipping, going down over time. But nope, the games are still really good. Even a game like Spider-Man 2 that is way overhated online for whatever reason, that's a good game. I like that game. I haven't played Ghost of Yotei yet, but God of War, Last of Us, even Last of Us 2, I'm a fan, just saying. Horizon, those are fun games as well. And also, like, it's working. You know, it's not always about reinventing the wheel. Sometimes you gotta just keep it pushing forward. And I think if we examine the actual plots and themes of these games, there are some interconnecting things for sure, things we see in different games, but you see that in all of storytelling. And I think if you look at the opposite of like a Xbox, like a Nintendo, what first-party games are really crushing it on those platforms the same way that these PlayStation ones are. I know Nintendo has a lot of success with their first-party games, but again, still, even remaining relevant in the cultural zeitgeist, I don't think Nintendo always gets there. They do sometimes, and when they do, it crushes. A Mario Odyssey, a Breath of the Wild, but even Mario Kart World, people aren't talking about that. Donkey Kong Bonanza, a game I think is fantastic, I don't think it's that cultural hit that Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey were. Those cultural hits we can attribute to God of War and Last of Us, different games like that. And it's like, what else do you want in terms of like story games? Is it like, yeah, story games used to be very revolutionary, and now that a lot of games have stories, it's kind of just like, not a big deal. First of all, I really hate that like argument. I really hate that opinion, because it's like, just because something becomes more common doesn't make it any less special. It's not like you watched Wizard of Oz for the first time, right? Dorothy steps out into Oz world, the land of Oz, and it's color. You see color on film. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And now you're watching Dune 2 and you're like, yeah, this looks good, but I feel like color's just played out at this point. It used to be revolutionary. So in terms of like the frequency in which we're getting really good stories, we are getting a lot more now because it's a lot more common, because that's where the games have evolved naturally to, because in my personal opinion, that's where games work the best. Maybe I'm biased because I'm not like a Fortnite, a 2K, one of those like, you know, just playing on the multiplayer games. I don't even get down with like a Marvel Rivals, but we have these timeless games, these timeless story games going back to, you know, the BioShocks in the early 2000s and things like that. These games that still stick with us to this day, the early Metal Gear Solids, those games, gameplay is sick. The stories and things like that, the characters that we can latch onto, I think that's different, and I think that's important, because we can't latch onto gameplay as easily as we can latch onto characters and experiences, because they're closely tied to us. Gameplay, you definitely can get attached to gameplay in some sense, whether that's emotional, not romantic, but nostalgia wise, I think that's a huge thing. But even then, I play a game like a Sly Cooper, these games that I absolutely love from my childhood. I love the Sly Cooper gameplay. At the end of the day, I'm still not there for that. I'm there because I think Sly Cooper's cool. What? You're a Koopa? Ah, Sly Cooper. And Clockwork's going like this. Good Clockwork impression? No. Really strange argument from IGN, but are we really surprised? IGN, they be being goofballs out there. To their credit, I don't think, I don't know if this is like IGN's quoting this or IGN said this themselves. It's just a opinion, and I'm sure they're just getting people to, you know, talk about it like how I'm doing now. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. What do you think? Are PlayStation games, story games too similar to, they're played out. Story games, enough of that. We don't want those stories anymore. We don't want to hear you say stories no more. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe. New video tomorrow. Bye.